All right, everyone. Well, welcome back to Hoop to Holler, aka the B-Ball Study Hall with Dylan Walrus. Dylan, we have a very, very, very special guest today. My man, Beto Duran, the Lakers pre and post game show host on ESPN 710. Beto, we are truly humbled and grateful that you were so generous with your time to join us in the B-Ball Study Hall today, talk some hoops. How you doing?
Well, I mean, it's like roles are reversed here. Usually you're calling my show and we only have
Yeah.
a couple minutes. But then when you guys were actually talking about doing this thing, and I remember when Dylan here and I sparred back and forth the first time, I'm like,
You were
who's this
cool
guy?
though. You
No,
were very kind about it.
but it was fun. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. And like, I'll
Yeah.
have a discourse back and forth with anybody who knows what they're talking about. Not to be an elitist, but there's sometimes when you're hosting the Lakers postgame show at 11 o'clock at night, you're going to get some drunk people like my friends.
Yeah.
And we actually had a good conversation. And then one of the things I always tell people that talk about, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Well, just go do it. Like, oh, I want to start my own podcast. Well, then go do it. And everybody talks about it, but nobody's about it. And you guys are doing it. So when I offered, like, hey, man, I want to be on, and you guys were like, for real? I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't I? Like, I want to support the people who are doing it. And this is awesome.
That's very kind, Beto, and I'm with you, dude. Like, I was biking down the canyon one day, and Walrus and I have a history we can share a little bit about at some point. But I thought to myself, like, hey, we like talking hoops. We've got a little time in the afternoon. Why not get together? And here we are. But this is truly like, a humbling experience to have you here, and your show. Being out here in the Great Plains and getting to listen to local Laker talk, which kind of gets me back to the roots of where my dad's from, has been really, really cool. And the thing I love about your show is you're willing to give that kind of back and forth, and you'll hear it out from everybody, and you have a real grace. And I think a good point and take on how to push people, how not to push people. My favorite is when I can visually see you getting excited when Walrus is trying to hush his voice under the covers, when really he just wants to let his rage.
I can
told.
be as loud as I want to be.
No, but he's hushing under the covers.
My empire.
Yeah,
I'm not used to you being loud. And just real quick for the people who don't know, so I do the Lakers pre-half and post-game show for ESPN.
Oh, Walrus has this all cooked out, Beto. He has all this scripted already.
Okay, great. What I want to say is, when I've been at ESPN for a long time, and my second run with them, and in this day and age of 2026, if you're calling sports talk radio after a game, you are a hardcore person, because what do we do in this day and age? We just fire off a tweet, we go to a chat, we go to a Reddit, and we just bitch and complain about everything. And that's why the show that I do now is more entertaining for the people who are the immediacy. And I don't do much analysis, because you can get that anywhere else. One of my bosses actually told me this when I agreed to do it 3 years ago, like, get to the people's soul, get to their emotions, play with their minds, let them vent, let them celebrate. So I know I get a lot of flack from people who tell me, like, well, you're not breaking down the game, you're not giving an analysis. Bro, you're going to get that everywhere. Like, you can get that. Like, do I really want to talk about the horns and the ATOs? Not really.
You do.
No. I mean, after the game, no.
Yep.
The next day, that's when you have the analytics and you look at it and you're like, damn, they really didn't play any defense. They knew that. But I love the immediacy after a game where people are just so fired up. And that's what you did,
and I can sense it. You built community. That's the word. Like, you have a community.
Without a doubt.
Walrus is in the chat, and everybody's just giving love to each other and teasing each other, and it's like it's a bunch of friends, sitting at the virtual bar talking some hoops. It's really cool.
Yeah, I try to weed out the negativity in it.
Yeah,
because I mean, it's sports, so of course there'll be a lot of negativity, and it goes in different ways. And I know I don't care if you talk bad about me, but it's like when they're arguing and bitching and complaining about everything else. Like, bro, go to another the chat. And that's another thing that's different in 2026. Everybody has a post game show, and great, more the better. That just shows your fandom and your appreciation. I'm never going to hate on anybody who does it. You can have one person or a million people. Like, some people like to troll me, like, there's nobody watching your show. I'm like, I don't care about nobody watching it. I care about the actual people that are watching it.
Yeah, you're letting Walrus cry his little tears in his pillowcase if he needs to, and also rant and everything in between. It's entertaining. I would recommend to everybody.
When he comes in, he's like, "Hey guys, hey this, that," and I love it. I love it.
I see you building him up though. You're like constantly like getting him
going.
The
last couple of games, he was so frustrated. I'm like, Walrus, I don't want any pleasantries. Don't say nice things. Don't even say hi. Just go. And I was like, whoa, hey baby.
Wally on beach at his best when he's swimming free in the Pacific. We all know that.
Sir, yes, sir.
So along, Beto, with being the Lakers pre and post game show host, you also do boxing play-by-play and ringside reporting for Golden Boy on DAZN, and also you host the Dimecast podcast at Dimecast on YouTube, discussing all things related to the quarterback position. But of course, your bread and butter is the Lakers. You're the pride of Carson, California. Graduated of Carson High School. class of 1996, home of the Colts. He got
Don't
that
date
30-year
You're dating him on
reunion
here, Wally.
Oh, I don't
coming
care.
on. Yeah, I had my 20th last year.
I got my
base.
Carson High.
Oh, nice.
Hey, there you
Right
go.
on.
Go Colts.
Shout out. There you go.
You
Hey,
played
that's a good color,
baseball. You ran cross country. You're the sports editor of the school newspaper, the Trailblazer, and the rest is history. 25 years in the business, and you're at the top of your game. So I'm a diehard Lakers fan. Going back to Nick Van Axel or Axel. What was it?
Oh, Sale is bad. He in his thing. He
What
says
is
Nick
this?
Van Axel, and I'm like, it's
You ever
Axel,
heard this?
brother.
Axel?
Yeah, double little shave spots in his
Axel?
eyebrow. Yeah,
Axel, whatever it might be. Eddie
But
Jones
Eddie
is my
Jones
guy,
is who we
though.
really love.
He was
Same.
my guy. I
Yeah,
was so
same.
upset when they traded him for Glenn Rice, but
That's why I
you know,
didn't love
worked out
Kobe,
that
dude.
year. Going to the Great Rustin Forum. So Beto, first thing we want to ask you is, how did you become a Lakers fan?
Yeah,
growing up.
Dude, it's not that hard.
Yeah,
I kid of the Showtime era, Lakers. 87, 88, those are prime times. I was you forgot to
how old
mention
were
my
you?
bio.
How old were you then, Beto? 87, 88.
10.
Quick math. 10.
So
Yeah,
I was
so you're
70.
yeah.
I'm 47. So
you're
very
watching Showtime.
impressionable.
Oh.
And Walrus didn't mention my bio. I was a paper boy for the Daily Breeze, which is at that time was an afternoon edition. So like I'm in 4th grade and I would go and wrap up the newspapers and throw them out. But before I did that, I would read the sports page. So this is 87, 88, Worthy, Magic, Kareem.
Yeah, I was gonna say, were you Worthy, Kareem, Skyhook, or were you Magic, or were you all of it?
Oh, always
Cooper?
Magic.
All of it? You're Magic?
Magic.
Yeah. We can disagree, but
Yeah.
keep going.
So that's what it was. And I have older brothers, and they, you know, we would see the Laker games on Channel 9 because we didn't have cable, so you'd only watch the road games, and that was it. And I tell a story all the time. Like Magic Johnson always said that the only teams that ever played in June were the Lakers and Celtics, and that's all I knew as a kid was Lakers and Celtics in June because that's when they would come on CBS with Brent Musburger and Pat O'Brien, the host. So that was like my fandom with them. And like I work at Spectrum Sports at the Lakers TV station, and every now and then I get to do stuff with James Worthy, and I'm like, James is my dude.
It's amazing,
Yeah,
right?
that's cool.
Got like pinch yourself.
Yes,
He's
like,
pretty humble
there,
dude too.
You're there, and there's a thing that the Spectrum did called Lakers Top 10. There's these things that we did more than 12
They're
years
great.
ago, where you sit down. It's just bar filler, right? And one of the episodes was best Laker moments, and you know you rank them. And one of them was when James Worthy dove on the sideline and he tapped the ball back in.
Yeah.
And it led to a basket.
Selling body. Yep.
And I said that, you know, and one day I'm sitting there and then James comes in, he goes, so that's your favorite play, huh?
That's awesome.
Yeah. Like, wait a minute. How do you know? How do you know? And then over my shoulder, the TVs were showing that, and I was talking about it. I was like, oh my God. He goes, that's right, big fella. Good job. Good job. So I'm like, those little things right there, I'm always like stuck on it.
Yeah.
But like the fandom isn't there now. And I get a lot of flack from Laker fans, like, you're not even a Laker fan. I'm like, look, when you get into the business as a reporter and you see how the sausage is made, when you see the behind the scenes, when you see everything about it, and mind you, now reporters and broadcasters, and you know, they'll let you know where their allegiance are for teams. For before that, you could never tell anybody you like somebody.
Sure.
Like, you got to be
unbiased.
You just have to be right down the middle. Like, do I root for the Lakers now? Yes, it's good for business. Am I going to live and die with them right now? No. But what I really love about the Lakers,
you'd be dying. You got to stay alive.
Yeah, what I love about the Lakers is how they bring a community together. When the Lakers are rolling, LA is on fire. When the Dodgers are rolling, on fire. So I love to see the city of LA, where I was born and raised, win championships. Like, that is awesome, because my hardcore friends, ones who have the Laker tattoo, are with them. And I always tell them, like, when they ask me questions about things, I'm like, you don't want to know. Like, what about this guy?
You don't know how the sausage is made, huh? That casing.
It's like, keep your distance from the fandom. And again, I root for players, and I root for the best. And I love seeing the best of the best perform every single night at an elite level that nobody will ever comprehend. But I'm not going to get into like, I'm going to let my life be dictated by these guys. Maybe if I had not gone into the business, it'd be different. But I think when I was like 17, 18, when I was in high school and writing for the school paper, and you see how things are being done, you're like, damn, this is like different. Like telling people you're fired and stuff like that. Yeah, it's different. So
no, I think that you're hitting on a good thing, the youthful fandom. And I know Wally could wax on that a long time of how he became a Laker fan. But when I hear you talk about that, I can hear my dad saying he is worthy in those birds, you know, and I'm calling Bird the nerd, and Parrish and Kareem, and they're all going back and forth. Like that era of basketball and being a fan, like that nostalgia takes you back to being a kid, which is cool. But you're right. Like as you age up, what do you want now? As you're in the business, but as a grown man, do you want to be this fanatic, or do you want to appreciate the game and kind of enjoy? One quick question: who was one player you really enjoy to watch that you still kind of have some fandom towards? I'm kind of curious. Is there a player in the league?
I kid you not. So on the radio at ESPN, I kind of play dumb about a lot of things.
Sure.
Because like if I had my own regular show, like 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, whatever, I would have a different perspective. But when I go in, I fill in, I'm popping in. And Walrus hears me. I pop in, pop out. I just say little things in and out. Boom. I'm being the smart ass guest, right?
It's fun.
But I'll say, I was watching League Pass, and like the trolls will tell me, you weren't watching this. Because look, I am, because I'm a sports fan. I also gamble a lot. No, not big money, but I got my price picks going every day. I got what's going on. So League Pass is good. And the other day I said something like, for New Orleans, they should trade Trey Murphy and they should get Herb Jones. And I said this early on, and people were like, you're not watching their games. I'm like, yeah, because those two dudes are fun to watch.
Yeah,
they are.
Those kind of things. And it's also, I've never had a real job, knock on wood. So you want to appreciate everything you do. So if I can watch sports and get paid for it, why wouldn't I? Right. That's why this week with All-Star break, I'm like, damn, I don't know what to do.
Has it been good? Have you got your Winter Olympics on, or you just been chilling?
Well, I'm always watching that, but it's been rainy in LA, so I can't golf, right? So I can't do nothing. But like the guys, I love watching these youngsters just take over. Like I love.
You like Herb and you like Murphy, huh? Those are two guys that you. Yeah.
No, I like that, but the ones I love, Anthony Edwards. I love his attitude. I love how he comes after you. He's got that dog in him, and he's not trying to be your friend. He's like, but the thing, Anthony Edwards isn't trying to be the face of the NBA. He's like, I am me, right? Yeah. I know people don't like Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant is going to argue with every single troll on Twitter. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I like it too.
On several burner accounts, it appears.
Apparently.
Good. Yeah. I love it. But you know what? Durant is a hooper, and he is there. Like Russell Westbrook, I know Laker fans are like, but if you look at Russell Westbrook, the dude plays hard every single
play.
Possession.
Every game.
Every second.
Yeah, every second. Where we're watching DeAndre Ayton play every other.
Oh man.
You're gonna get Wally's blood pressure up if you mention that dominating.
Well, look, we want to talk a little sausage as you brought it up. So right now, like, how would you assess the current state of the Lakers this season and also moving forward? I clearly have my thoughts, but what are you thinking? Where they're at right now?
Where they are. They're not as good as the record indicates, and this is why early on in the season I wasn't getting all hyped up about them, because look at their record and who they were playing and who they were beating.
Yeah, in November when they're 11-2. Yep.
And then when they would play good teams, they're getting smoked. Mm-hmm. And I think I lost. Did I lose in like the New Orleans game or one of those games where they lost? I'm like, this is embarrassing that you're losing to this kind of team, or like Charlotte. Maybe I think it might have been the Charlotte.
It was a Charlotte game. Yeah.
It was like, they're like, well, they're NBA players. Like, no, they might be NBA players on paper, but they're not NBA players. Like, you should not lose these teams because you're not good enough to afford these kind of games. And next thing you know, what happens in April? Oh, we need a half a game win, and we need help to avoid the play-in tournament. And like where the Lakers are right now, I think that's where they're going to be. And I actually got in an argument with Ireland about this early on in the season. I'm like, John, they shouldn't compare themselves or measure themselves up against Oklahoma City,
OKC, San Antonio.
And Ireland's like, no, you should. I'm like, no, they're not there. They need to worry about what Phoenix is doing. They need to worry about what Houston's doing, because that's where their peers are right now, record-wise, ability-wise. Because San Antonio, OKC, they're going to be where they're going to be at. He's like, no, we got to measure by championships here. And I hate that we got to measure by championships, because you're not a championship-built team right now. And they're middle of the pack. Nobody's intimidated by them. And it's nothing I haven't said before. Can they win a Western Conference? Absolutely. They can get super hot and have the right matchup and win it. Would I be surprised if they do that? No.
Yeah.
Would I be shocked if they get knocked down the first round? No. This is why it's hard to feel for this team, because you see glimpses of it. Yes. And then glimpses of, oh, this is it. There's no depth on this team. And it's hard. I know that excuses of they've only had these 3 core players together for 10 games. It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
It really is true. And it'll be different. But what's that got to do with the lack of height, lack of defense, lack of effort, lack of energy at times? And that's where Pelinka should be blamed a lot. And I've been very adamant about it, because the way he constructed this roster, very top heavy, and then you don't have anybody to help you. And then you're signing guys to add to the 15-man roster that could have been able for a buyout market guy. And you're like, how are you? Again, it looks like they're waiting for next year. And I don't know what the summer is going to be. And I hate speculating about that. That's why I like to just focus on today. And right now they are where they are. And that's not a surprise. I thought they would be around the 5-6 area.
You hear me talk about all the time when I call in. For me, style of play has been something that they just have completely mismanaged. And when I say they, I really mean JJ Redick and the coaching staff. Like just jacking up those stupid threes, game in, game out. You know, it drives me crazy because in terms of effort, I really believe that if you're playing smart and you're at least clearly, you know, doing what you can do, that has a psychological effect. You're going to end up having more effort, perhaps. You shouldn't. You've said this all the time, Beto. These are professionals. You shouldn't have to hold their hand, right? But they're human beings at the end of the day. And for me, a missed three is such a psychological detriment to you, and then also just such a boost to your opponent, especially a young athletic team. And those have been the teams that the Lakers have been losing to, right? Yep. Just opening up the transition and stuff like that. I'm curious to know, now that Austin has come back, Austin Reeves, you think that LeBron, and Luka, just with the last, what we got here, 27 games, that they're going to be able to at least kind of put a bit of a push in to the playoffs? Because I'm optimistic. I really am. It's all going to be about health, but I think Austin's looked pretty good since he's come back.
Oh, absolutely, because he's going to be one of the elite players in the free agency market, right? Austin Reeves is going to help him make him a difference, because that allows LeBron to be a third guy if you needed to. Or if Luka's having a bad shooting night, somebody can step up. Right now, without him, who is going to step up? It's not going to be Marcus Smart or anything like that. That's why you and I argue while we're on the phone. You're like, they should be doing this, they should be doing that. And this goes back to my reporting background, my being around teams, talking to people. And this is also what like mentors taught me over the years of, you can question what they're doing. It's great, but you're never going to understand what goes on in that meeting room. Yeah. You're never going to understand why they're doing this. And coaches aren't going to explain to you what it is. That's why on the pregame show, we take JJ's press conference, which is 4 or 5 minutes, whatever. We listen to it because, one, it's a sponsored thing. And two, sometimes he'll say some things. But if you really want to get what's going on, always talk to the visiting scouts, the advanced scouts that are there. And usually you don't know who they are, but I always try to make a point after being around for so many years, like, hey, who's their guy? You always look at the seating chart. Who sent somebody here or there? It's usually the team they're going to play ahead. And if I have a time where I can just bug them for a couple minutes, I always do. Over the years, I've gotten to know some of these guys. And you always ask them, what do you see? And Walrus, just look at this. They don't play smart. That's been...
How many times have I said that? This is the time for me to get loud.
Yes.
It is crazy, man. It's crazy. It wouldn't be allowed on this playground out here in middle school, man. I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
If it's intellect, what are we talking about? The self-proclaimed...
This is what I suppress at night when the kids are sleeping, just so you understand.
Yeah, you're turning red.
Crazy.
You're turning red, brother.
Crazy.
It's not that these guys are saying that the individual players, it's as a collective effort.
Correct.
Well,
it's nuts. I don't get it, man. It's not... Dylan hears me say this all the time. And I've said to you, I've said to you, this is not a complicated game. It's not a complicated game. Move the ball. Move without the ball. The basket's 10 feet tall. Get closer. Better shots are down there. And you know, also, like in terms of the mid-range, you know, you've heard me talk about Rui Hachimura.
He's morphing into your show right now, Beto. You did it. Like, you did it already, dude. Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you've checked out at least a little bit of the Mind the Game with LeBron now and Steve Nash. They had a show with Kevin Durant a couple of months ago talking about the importance of the mid-range game, talking about how it's more part of today's game. That's how OKC won last year.
The playoffs,
you have a guy
we all know mid-range is important, Wally, but this
but you know who doesn't know it's important? That's JJ Redick and the coaching staff.
He does.
I would say it to his face. No, he doesn't know it's important,
or
else he would design plays in the mid-range. Okay, empirical evidence here. All right, man, like that. It was like, what, 2-3 games ago in Laravia? Like, yeah, he had a hot third quarter, but in the fourth quarter, he was just jacking up 1 3 after another. He hasn't made one. It's like, dude, put your head down, get to the rack.
I thought you were the guardrails on this. I thought you were the bumper that was steering us down.
No, I mean, that's volcano over here. Okay,
but
you play the
this
cards.
Is a conversation we can't have on
correct
post-game show because we don't have enough depth for it. Right?
Well, let me ask you two Laker guys.
Let me finish this for Walrus. So you're talking about why they go away from the mid-range, why they go for the... It's not the Lakers. It's being out coached by the other team. It's other teams make adjustments. The Lakers are good at making a run for a few minutes or even a whole quarter. Yep. And good, smart coaches, Mark Dagano, will make the adjustment and they'll take it away from Buddy. That's where I know you want to get on JJ a lot, but he's still in his second year of learning how to be a coach. True. And you look at it, and I've told you this, like, are you really going to run a play for DeAndre Ayton? Hell no.
No.
Like, Rui Hachimura is not going to have a play run for him with Luka and LeBron on the floor. And Rui is one of the best mid-range shooters in the NBA, and he turtles at times.
Yeah. He had a couple playoff moments. He definitely does.
I agree to disagree, man. I think they could run pick and pop with that guy. I really do, man.
No, they can. They can, Waters. The thing is, they can. But you have to have a player that's willing to say, I wanted this damn ball. And we're always like, he defers. Mm-hmm. He defers. Yeah. And if you're a superstar and you see a guy deferring, like, forget this. I'm moving on.
Yeah.
Well, you have the cards. You have the cards to play that you're dealt. So JJ's cards. Correct. He has an all-time IQ, self-proclaimed in LeBron, right? The greatest basketball IQ ever. You're saying other opposite scouts are saying it's an intelligence issue, and you're also saying they're making adjustments to make it difficult when they make these runs. But I think your problem comes back to Luka. Who is this dude? He's a top 5 talent. What's his motivation? What's his effort level? He's gotten to the finals. He's gotten to the Western Conference Finals. Like, the guy can play. He can fill it up. Does he do it in a team fashion that creates contagious energy? And I think that's the problem, dude.
That's where this offseason is going to be really important. And I'll tell you this, scouts never complain about Luka or LeBron. It's more of the lack of intelligence is from the role players, guys who are supposed to be, hey, like, I should not be standing at the elbow, DeAndre Ayton. Like I should not be at the top of the key, DeAndre Ayton, over and over, Dalton Connect, whoever it is. Like, those kind of things. And that's where some of the frustration comes from JJ and the coaching staff and, like, the superstar players. Like, bro, you're not in the right spot. How is this happening? Yeah. But to your point about Luka, it's fascinating watching him work out beforehand. And this dude is really embraced LA. He's all about it. He's going to be here for as long as he wants. This is where you have to build around him the right way. Mm-hmm. And Morris and I have argued about this. He's like, complains about Luka taking threes. Well, Luka's going to take his threes no matter what. Yeah. And he is. That's what he is. He's not going to adjust. If anything, he's going to get more stubborn over the years with it. But because he has this uber confidence that he's going to, shoot or shoot. All right, I missed the last 5, but I'm going to make the next 5. Sure. But it's very important to get the right guy that can pick and pop with him. That's why he and Jackson Hayes work really well, because Jackson Hayes knows his role around Luka.
Dunking from 10 feet inside the free throw line is Jackson Hayes' role, right?
You're 7'1". Just stand at the rim and he's going to throw it up.
I'm talking about his dunk contest, but yeah.
Oh, that one.
No, I'm with you.
But can we just not accept the fact that, and to JJ's credit, like he mentioned this, a few games back, Luka's an incredible passer as well. And I know you've made the point, and I take it. I really do that. Why are you going to be passing the guys like LaRavian when he's not hitting something, like Smart when he's going 1 for 9, right? Yep. So for me, it needs to be downhill action, because Luka can get down and dirty down there. Also, my thing about him taking the threes, if you've missed 3 in a row, I know he can hit them, but you also could take it down within 10 to 15 and get that space and make that thing practically every time. Like, it's a formula for me, Beto. Like, what's ultimately going to equate to wins? Isn't that what this is all about?
Absolutely.
So that's what drives me crazy. But that's just what drives me crazy.
There, Wally. Like, when he came to the league, he was poised as his deceleration was never charted. His ability to slow down. James Harden maybe in that category. When you talk about Dag's adjustments, what adjustments did Kidd make to make him successful at Dallas? He surrounded him with effort dudes that ran and defended. And so you're right. I think you're right. Ultimately, Beto, it's going to take time to bring in the guys that are there. And it's the interesting nuance with the Lakers is you've got these 2 timeline things that happened immediately, but you've got all the talent in the world, both exiting and then currently. And so it'll just take some time. But does JJ have a system that he can put in place? Because when you think of the role players for OKC with Dags, those guys get in where they fit in, and you can just keep running Isaiah Joe, Wiggins, whoever it is, and they just fit that. But, like, winning breeds winning plays breed winning. So your frustration is totally accurate, Walrus. And at the same time, like, this year, you said it yourself. This was a trial year, and you're going to see what happens here. The interesting thing will be what happens in the offseason. But I do think there's chemistry between Reeves and Luka. Like both, I think that's the interesting piece. Is like, what is Reeves' value? How much of the salary cap can you put into him? Do you match? Does he get some kind of offer?
You can't let him go. Beto, I will be so mad if they let him go.
But
after Caruso, we have our guy Carlos Caruso who likes to call in, right? Reminding us all the time, right, about letting him go. They cannot let Austin Reeves go. That dude is a special talent. And I wanted to segue here because if he had been healthy, I think he would have been an all-star.